It's gonna be a great day for Star Wars tomorrow because Episode 5 of Ahsoka comes to select theaters, then to Disney Plus. And get this, if you didn't know this, Episode 5 was specifically chosen to be directed by Dave Filoni himself. So you guys know that even in The Mandalorian Season 2, when it was time for Ahsoka to come back to that series for the first time in live action, Dave Filoni directed that episode. And guess why is he directing Episode 5? You know it, baby. Thrawn is supposed to be coming in Episode 5. I don't believe it's such a secret by now because most of us know that since they traveled to this other galaxy, now Balin and Morgan will be awaiting Thrawn. What's got me even more excited is that the runtime is around 49 minutes for this episode, so this is one of the longest ones out there, and it's gonna be beautiful all the way through. But before we go to watch Episode 5, some of us in select theaters, some at home, and who could blame you? I love watching things at home instead of in cramped seats with people munching popcorn in my ear. So to each of their own, but Dave Filoni has kind of hinted about what Thrawn is going through before we meet him in Episode 5 way back in the day, even during the Star Wars Rebels series. We're going to discuss everything in this video. There has been a recent interview with Lars Mikkelsen too. In this interview, he gave us the heartbreaking news about how he portrayed Thrawn in Ahsoka, and to me, it's kind of sad. We're going to talk about it later on. I think what Dave Filoni wants to do with Episode 5, and this is what he's not telling you, is that Episode 5 will be a key revelation, a key moment, and a key episode for his own Mandoverse movie. Grand Admiral Thrawn is pretty much the main baddie. Not only in the Ahsoka series, in the Star Wars Rebels series, he was the same as well. It seems like he's going to be in the movie that he is directing, slated to release sometime in 2025, 6, 7, 8. I mean, with the strikes going on now, immediately you see Disney is again in trouble. These dates are gonna need to be reshuffled, but whatever the case, we can talk about how the movie of Dave Filoni is perhaps going to be delayed since there's a strike, or we can talk about how there are definite hints about how the movie will be and possibly how it will end, because we might have seen some things in Star Wars Rebels that might reflect on the movie. We're going to talk about Lars Mikkelsen, and this kind of coincides with what Lars Mikkelsen said as well. You see, Star Wars Rebels way back in the day might have given away the ending of the Mandalorian era movie that Dave Filoni will do. So let's revisit Season 3 finale of the Star Wars Rebels series called 0 Hour, where Thrawn goes head-to-head with the Rebels on their base on Atollon, and after the Death Shuttles, our Ghost crew narrowly escapes, Thrawn encounters the Bendu, a mystical entity of course, who he describes himself as the one in the middle of the Force, both light and dark. Now thanks to the immense Force abilities, Bendu foresaw Thrawn's downfall as he says, "I see your defeat like many arms surrounding you in a cold embrace." This prophecy came to fruition in the series finale, of course, with Thrawn ensnared by the tentacles of the Purgle. He was whisked away in the frosty expanse of space along with Ezra Bridger. This is where we come to the Ahsoka series now, where we are going to get to see them again. With Thrawn, though, making his comeback, could the Bendu's prophecy still have some potency? You see, that moment where the Purgle take Thrawn away was not his death. It looks like Thrawn's death is still yet to come, perhaps in the Dave Filoni movie. The speculation now gets even juicier because Mandalorian Season 3 we see Grogu encountering the Purgle in hyperspace, hinting at what's to come in the Ahsoka series, with Ahsoka and Sabine Wren on the hunt for Thrawn and Ezra. The crucial role in transporting Thrawn and Ezra into deep space, and their recent appearance in The Mandalorian feels like more than a mere coincidence. Not only might the Purgle be pivotal in Ahsoka's plans, but Dave Filoni's movie could feature these cosmic creatures as well. The possibility of the Bendu's prophecy repeating itself is exciting, although it's likely to play out slightly differently to avoid monotony. And who knows, Ezra Bridger might also be central in Thrawn's downfall yet again. In Season 4 Rebels, Ezra played a key role in Thrawn's defeat, using the Force to hold the Grand Admiral in the Purgle's grasp, leading to their shared journey into deep space. And now they're making their comeback yet again together. So Ezra and Thrawn are some way interlinked. Now fast forward to the New Republic era, Ezra and Thrawn have been in deep space for at least 4 years. Among the unique abilities that set Ezra apart from most Jedi in Star Wars Rebels is his special connection to animals, which he could somewhat control using the Force. Imagine now an older, more powerful Ezra having honed his abilities and developed an even deeper connection with the Purrgil. If this notion holds true and Bendu's prophecy comes full circle in the Dave Filoni movie, Ezra's newfound power and bond with the Purrgil might set him up for a major role in Thrawn's ultimate defeat, which again I believe will come in the Dave Filoni slated to direct movie, direct and write, not in the Ahsoka series, because Ahsoka will have a season 2 and maybe season 3 where Thrawn should be the bad guy. Of course, we've known for a while that Thrawn will be back. We saw the back of his head in the first teaser, now we see him fully in the new trailer, but we haven't really heard from Lars Mikkelsen, the actor that is actually playing him in live action. That was good news, of course, because Lars Mikkelsen voiced him in Star Wars Rebels, and very excited to see him now playing him in live action. And while the new series will undoubtedly broaden the narrative beyond just tying up loose ends for Star Wars Rebels, Dave Filoni has made it clear that Ahsoka will be intimately connected with the events of Star Wars Rebels, particularly those of the climactic finale that separated Ezra from his friends. What lies in store for Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra, even Hera Syndulla? Interestingly, while most of the cast members of Ahsoka did not lend their voices to their characters in the animated series, they were freshly casted in live action. Lars Mikkelsen did play Thrawn both in animated form and now in live action. To prepare for the reprising role, most actors would revisit the series or film in which they first portrayed their character. However, on a podcast recently, Lars Mikkelsen revealed he took a different approach to reprising his role as Thrawn in Ahsoka. Asked whether he revisited old episodes of Rebels to familiarize himself with the character's voice and persona, Mikkelsen responded, "No, I didn't really. We needed to do something else, so I wanted to detach myself from that to create something new." Now, this is pretty unconventional. This approach may have just made perfect sense, perhaps, because despite Star Wars Rebels and Ahsoka sharing the same storyline and canonical status, Ahsoka will likely have a distinct tone from Star Wars Rebels. Lars Mikkelsen's response seems to hint that Thrawn will be a different character in Ahsoka than in Rebels, perhaps a more mature and humble person now that he was kind of defeated by Ezra. Just speculating here because of course the reasons behind what he is saying are yet to be revealed. They might be completely different once we see the Ahsoka series. The transformation in Thrawn's character may be due to the simple fact that Ahsoka targets an older audience too than Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels was deemed suitable for children aged 7 or above, assuming Ahsoka follows the precedent set by The Mandalorian, which seems very likely. The series will likely carry a TV-14 rating, indicating that it is inappropriate for viewers under 14 years of age. This higher age restriction allows Ahsoka to delve into content that would have been deemed too mature for a children's audience in Star Wars Rebels. Although something might have occurred to alter Thrawn into a different version from the one seen in Rebels, now this change seems likely that not only is the show more mature, but Thrawn is more mature as well. This is at least what the actor Lars Mikkelsen thinks after reading the script. He didn't deem it necessary to go revisit Star Wars Rebels. Of course, all these 4 episodes are just beautiful, and what I suspect from episode 5 is that we were going to see Ahsoka have her own thing in the world between worlds with, I guess, Anakin, and probably many more other things. Morgan Elsbeth, Baylan, Shin Hati, and Sabine will all have their own adventure in this own galaxy, so we will have both stories going simultaneously. And honestly, I don't know for which one I am excited more. So pick who will be your favorite in tomorrow's episode. Are you waiting more to see what Ahsoka does or what Baylan and the crew will do in the other galaxy? Talk to me down below.